Hey everybody, hope you guys have all been having a good day. Sorry, I scared Loki. Guys, Bitcoin's been having a major reversal, bouncing off of this 20-day moving average. So today we're going to be talking about that next level of resistance here, and what more we need to achieve in order for Bitcoin to probably try to not go back down to like some of those lows we saw back in October, or some of the other lows we've been looking at. And sorry, Loki's really jealous that I'm talking to you guys right now. Okay. So for now, guys, let's kind of go step by step. First, let's talk about Bitcoin, crypto. Then we'll kind of go over to the news situation here. We just had some good news coming out of, I think it was South Korea, not raising interest rates, which is overall pretty good for the market. And then on top of that, we'll be looking at some of the stuff that happened in the stock market as well. But right now, Bitcoin has broken out of this level of resistance that we've been dealing with for the past few weeks. Like literally weeks of the most boring action Bitcoin's been ever having, guys. And we finally broke out, and we've been tearing up a new one here, which has been pretty nice. I did a few day trades earlier on some of these moves, but usually just buying down here and kind of selling and kind of rinsing and repeating. I'm going to wait for another setup, and I'm going to try to take it with you guys. I'm going to try to do some $50, $100, 100x leverage positions with you guys, just with some fun. And then after that, if you guys have any questions, I'll let you know, okay? Or let me know, excuse me. All right, let me move some of this stuff around here. There we go. And hey, Ivan, hey, the real transporter, and hey, Steve, hope you guys are all doing good. And hey, James Brown, is Ethereum good to buy now? So the weird thing that's happening right now, that's been happening more and more and more, I would say, is right now we're seeing that we're seeing Bitcoin dominance continue to extend here. And so what I mean by that is Ethereum kind of already broke out a few days ago, kind of went back down a little bit more, and then Bitcoin finally broke out. We had talked about sometimes how, well, talked about this for like almost a couple years, haven't we? Sometimes we have this phenomenon where Bitcoin stays dormant, waiting for Ethereum to break out, and vice versa. Again, so today, let's talk about Bitcoin first, and I'll kind of go over step by step. So in the scheme of things here, over the past 2 days, we've managed to bounce off the 20-day moving average here. That's been a pretty good one. You can see this kind of flag we were riding down on. We managed to break above that $29,000 level. I think the specific one was up here around, what, $29,170. But we've broken out, and now we're kind of on another big move up here. We just broke through $30,000. Bitcoin is having a fantastic time. Now, when we kind of zoom out here a little bit more, you guys can see we're now back into the lows of the last bull market, excuse me. So these are the prices we were at back over here in 2021, where everybody was saying the end is nigh and stuff like that, right? So right now, that next level of resistance that we're looking for, there's a few, but that big level of resistance is probably going to be closer to $32,500. I don't know if we're going to get back above that. We took a few weeks just to get through this. How many days did it really take after all? Let's just say right around here. Took about 21 days just to make this move up here. That was a lot of consolidation, but the overall market was working in our favor here. Now, before we start going into Ethereum and a lot of these other cryptocurrencies, which are kind of more moderate so far to start the day, I'll say this. We do have CPI data coming out in a few days, coming out on Wednesday, I believe, early morning. Be very, very careful if you guys are going to be putting any positions out where you guys might be sleeping when that announcement comes out, okay? I don't know if it's going to be too hot or too cold. Let me know in the poll I just put out for you guys. But play it safe when it comes to that CPI number. I'm not telling you guys to sell or whatever. I'm just saying be awake and be aware of what the market is doing and what's happening during the CPI release, okay? Now, as far as everything else is concerned, we can go through this couple of them. Ethereum right here, remember, Ethereum broke out, then broke back down, but overall still tried to stay within this overall trend right there, right? I think it might have been worse off for Ethereum if it would have broken down, but it did not, and it didn't even touch on the 20-day moving average here. For Ethereum right now, let me check the hour chart. Looks like we're hitting a little bit of a high point. I probably would wait for another dip before trying to go back in here. I mean, usually in these situations, you're usually looking for some type of breakout point, whether it's right there, or I guess that might have been a breakout point right here. But usually you're looking for some type of breakout. So I wouldn't really be buying Ethereum at this point in time unless you're doing some type of 5-minute breakout, 15-minute breakout, something like that. If you're looking at something for where you want to hold for the next few hours, the move's already been happening. There's been a few breakouts that we just talked about here for Ethereum. And then, you maybe if you go to the 15-minute chart, I don't know which one is probably going to be best for you right here. Probably this one didn't pull back to the right spot. Didn't pull back all the way there, but that was the last real breakout I think we had on the 15-minute chart. As of now, I'd be watching for shorts for whenever we broke down below this flag right here, right? We break down from here, I'll be more likely to short it down. But at this point, I wouldn't be touching Ethereum. I'd be scaling out of any other positions I had where I bought the breakout. Like for example, here for Bitcoin over the last few minutes, I did a couple day trades just for the fun of it, but that was more of me doing horizontal breakouts like that, or a mini breakout where I was trading this, right? Doesn't mean to have an arrow there, but you guys get what I'm saying. Breakout right there, that's what you want to buy. We really haven't had that for Ethereum just yet because Ethereum, to be frank, you know, in the last few hours, Bitcoin's up almost 2%, doing very, very well. Ethereum is only up about 0.5% to 0.75%. It's not really moving up too much yet. Give it some time here. You know, wait to see what happens. But I'd wait for some type of breakout, even if it's on just on a 15-minute chart. I'd wait for that breakout or breakdown before entering into a position right now. You can even see Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's not looking as fancy, I would say, as let me add this little dumb arrow thing. Bitcoin's not looking as passive or slow as Ethereum because Bitcoin's, you know, it's ramping up here. Already broke out above that one. You may even see this one right here. Well, we already broke above that. Now we're going to test at this support. Bitcoin's moving at a much faster pace, and usually it's Ethereum moving at that faster pace. If we go over here and look at market dominance, if it'll let me go all the way down. Oh, no, what am I talking about? I haven't had a look at dominance with you guys in a hot minute. Before I forget. My throat's been hurting because I've been talking, making tutorials for you guys. I have a tutorial coming out tomorrow morning about RSI, like the complete breakdown of the RSI indicator and how to use it in like a bajillion different ways. But I'll talk about that here in a few more minutes. But if I go over here to, oh, there it is, Bitcoin dominance. Scroll down, let's scroll, oh, it's not there yet. Okay, there we go. Let's go for the last month, I guess, you know. You can see, this is going to be hard to see. You can generally see from left to right, Bitcoin dominance is continuing to go up, right? We started off here over the last month about 41.88%. Let's just call that 42. Currently, we are at about 47% dominant. That is growing more and more and more. Usually when dominance starts to fall back down, you start to see the altcoin season, you know, all the glorious stuff we associate with Dogecoin and the big movers of the past, right? But at this point here, let's go to a year-long chart. You can see a little bit more gradually, we're starting to build more dominance up at the lowest over here in November 2022. Looks like it was at 38% or so. So we are seeing some good signs right now. You can see when you see Dogecoin making a move right here, excuse me, Bitcoin making another move right there. Let me go over here to Dogecoin here for a second. Dogecoin looks like it's going more sideways. Let me see. That's not too bad. Trying to see it. It's been about 2 hours. So I was thinking of the 15-minute chart here. It's not doing terrible. It definitely wants to come back down here a little bit more, but I think Bitcoin's literally dragging this thing back up. The daily chart looking at some golden crosses, and I almost forgot to tell you guys. Now, I don't know how to feel about this because, again, the economy is in such a whack way right now. But if you guys go over to the Bitcoin chart and you guys go over here to, like, you know, the Coinbase one, we go over here to weeklies. We did get that golden cross there this Sunday between the 20 and the 50. And usually, I'm not going to say it this time because the economy is so out of whack, but historically, having that 50 being crossed over by the 20 does lead to some really good results, aka, I mean, you know, right here, crossover, and that's the last time we had the crossover on the bullish side. Last time we had the crossover over here on the bullish side, it was like a cool 2 weeks of being good, not the greatest, but it worked out, right, for a couple weeks. And then over here, crossover, ended up having that huge move, and way back over here, crossover, if my head's not blocking it, no it's not, had that big move right there. So historically speaking, this is actually a really good indicator of which way the market's going to be going. Now, again, this has all been through the big money printing age of between the 2008 financial crisis and, you know, COVID, frankly, or like, you know, this inflationary crisis that we've been in. So we're not in this quantitative easing style, you might say, but I have to say, it still happened, and you're seeing a boost happen following it, okay? If you go back over here to the weekly chart as well, I mean, there's not really a good level of what I'm looking for here, but we're in a good spot. I don't really see any problems right now. Day traders rejoice. Swing traders take your positions carefully just because of the CPI data and the possible rate hikes coming up. But if you guys are looking to trade just for up to 48 hours, maybe 72 hours, something like that, you're in pretty good shape here as far as some of these short-term trades. That's why today I'm going to do some fun day trades with you guys if I can. Well, I got to be watching the charts a little bit more than I am now, but I'm going to have some fun with it, right? Because I want to do 100x leverage positions, which are a little bit more risque. But yeah, so let's go through a few other things here. Probably just best to stick with the daily chart. Let's get out of these little flag things that I've been making. There you go. Anything else I'd really want to talk about here? ADA is still kind of going more sideways here. It has this level of resistance that's been building up for the past few months, right? This one's been interesting though, just because of this, right? We're still holding on strong. I don't really plan on buying ADA all too much here. I really want to short this sucker down when we start breaking down here, but it hasn't happened yet. I'm being very patient with it. We might actually break above 41 cents well before we actually break down here, but whenever we do, I'm watching for it. Other stuff out there like ApeCoin, this is something I would say, this is something I might want to buy here for a breakout above the 50 and the 200 daily moving averages. Usually we have some really big days when it comes to Bitcoin having a big move, so I'm watching ApeCoin kind of closely here. I don't think they have ApeCoin on Fairdesk though, so don't think I can trade it. Let me see. Ape. Oh, sorry, Loki. My dog thought I was calling him. Yeah, I don't see any ApeCoin here. Oh. No, it is here. It is here. Here, let me do this very fast. This might be something I'd be looking at personally. Like here, this is a 20x leverage. Let's move it down to 10x leverage. Let's do over here to, no, I want to do 250. One more. No. I'm messing up my simple math here. The way they do leverage is a little bit different than how I do leverage. 500. Okay, 500. That's $100 with a 10. Oh, not 20x. I said 10x. 10x, good. Ape, long. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, so we'll see. This is a total slow leverage. Have some fun with it. Don't buy it just because I bought it. But usually, you guys know my philosophy when it comes to these moving averages. I usually think there's some big moves to be had when we come into contact. You might not see the move for another day or two, though, because you see the 20 creeping up and the 50 creeping down. I'm watching it. Nothing to be excited about, but I'm hoping I can make a cool 50 bucks off of it. I don't know, with a $50 trade. Oh, I don't know how much I just bet on that one, but whatever. ADHD striking again. But anyway, going over to some of the other ones here, we have AVAX. This is another one that looks like it wants to break out of a relative level of resistance. And again, just like Bitcoin, you might move this up a little bit more here, but just like Bitcoin, we're having this uptrend here, a trend of higher lows. You might be looking for another breakout there on the upward side. Again, because of just having a golden cross on the daily chart, not the weekly, but still a pretty good move. Hoping for 19-20 bucks there if Bitcoin can continue this pace. My fear is always when Bitcoin's moving up and the rest of the market isn't. If the rest of the market is chasing Bitcoin and then Bitcoin reverses at the last second, I'm a little bit more worried. And the reason I say that is because Bitcoin could fall at the last second only because of CPI data. If there wasn't any economic data coming out, I'd be feeling much more bullish about altcoins right now. But okay. Anything else that's really interesting to me right now? I mean, Dogelon Mars has been pumping up a little bit here. This is something I kind of just hold and I let sit for a while. I've been holding it for a while. It's had some pumps, but hasn't really made me a millionaire yet. Anything else that's actually moving up quite a bit today? Not much. It looks like, Bitcoin's it. A little bit of BNB up a little bit more here. That's looking pretty nice. BNB might head up all the way to 329 or so. That might be kind of fun. Okay, but yeah. And then overall, what I wanted to talk to you guys about besides the Bitcoin dominance here, we're just going over how crazy this year has been so far and why I think you guys should still continue to dollar cost average instead of, buying in bulk, right? We all have our bulk zones if a Bitcoin crashes and stuff like that. My bulk zones are still there. Let me move my microphone here, guys. Sorry, I've been using it so much to make videos or do these new type of tutorial videos I've been making for you guys. But you guys can see Bitcoin year to date is up over 81%. Ethereum is up over 60. BNB is up over 30. You got a lot of stuff here. You even got XRP at 52, Dogecoin up 20, ADA up 60, Solana up 111. But Solana is a special case. That thing crashed and burned during parts of last year. But then, we got some really strong moves coming out, everybody. I think for the majority, most stuff is up. It looks like Leo is the only one that's not up year to date right here. We got some right here. Toncoin. What else is over here? The majority of stuff is doing just fine. Oh, you got one here that's down 16%. That's Terra Classic. Okay, there's no reason why any of you guys should be holding that. And Bitcoin SV is down a little bit here as well. Some of the stuff that's on my personal watch list here, I always like to remind you guys that I dollar cost into this stuff every now and again, but these are the more higher risk. Some of these coins are higher. It's not all of them. Like FTM, I don't think is a higher risk coin, but that one's up 137%. Let's start off with what coins have performed the worst that I've had this year. That would be Xeon is down 70% for the year. Market cap of only 47 million. Again, lower market caps usually have much more risk. $2 million market cap right here, down 63%. H blocks. Social Good is down 44. Social companies usually don't do well, but I wanted to give it a shot. Callisto Network down 32. Huobi Token down 27. Kilt Protocol down 26. CoinX down 9. What is it? Nexo down. Oh, Nexo's up 1%. But a few other coins over here. And then my Starlink here that I've been buying up just because it has a really small market cap right there. It's up 3%. I should probably go by market cap because you guys know how I prefer market cap too. But a lot of the smaller market cap ones, you can see a lot more difference in the year to dates over here. Now you got certain ones like Observer up here. That's at 55. That's fine. But the big ones, it looks like on my portfolio, have been Baby Dogecoin of all things. Phantom has been doing good. Audio has been doing good. I just like that because I like the name of it. That's really the only reason I bought into it. Because I don't think this market cap for this one, I think was a lot lower when I actually bought it. Market cap, yeah, the market cap was way over here, like the 150, 120 million market cap. Now it's all the way up here to 300. So that explains a 100%, 150% increase year to date. Let's go back over here very fast. One more little quick zoom. Harmony's up, Centrifuge, Metal Dow, Vermworld. So you get a mixed bag here, but it looks like overall, which is kind of funny, Bitcoin's a good medium space at this point, right? I got stuff that's up 160%. I got stuff that's up, that's down 100% or not, like 80%, stuff like that, 60%. But Bitcoin's that nice little medium up around 81%. That's not bad. Network error. Oops. Hopefully I didn't break anything off of that. But yeah. And what was interesting today, again, is the overall market is continuing to go sideways because we've been talking about all these levels of resistance. I think the stock market is much more attuned to what's going on in the rate hikes and what's going on when it comes to inflation. And so maybe the market's being a little bit more hesitant, but Bitcoin's a global market. So I think everybody in Bitcoin is just saying, let's go now. And if for whatever reason, the inflation data is really bad, we'll live with it, I guess is what's going on. But it's definitely been a pretty good, fun thing to watch. Okay. Now, the only news I've really heard today that I think you guys should know about, Alibaba to roll out its chat GPT rival. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's, I wonder if there's an actual article about it. Well, it's not too important. South Korea did not raise interest rates. So that was the big news here. I think the Asian markets jumped off the news and that kind of helped out Bitcoin, if you ask me. Okay. And hey, Ivan, Ethereum just had a pop. Oh yeah, probably because Bitcoin was just having that little bit of a pop too right there over the last few minutes. I know I've been talking for a hot minute here. That little pop right here. Ethereum, yep, definitely trying to make that little bit of a pop move right there as well. There we go. Let me see. Yeah, we're already coming back down. Oh, did I drag that right there? Yeah, just broke it right there. If you wanted to do a little bit of a day trade, you could try. I'm not too fancy for these types of trades, but I mean, this is my money, but it's like $1,600. So let's hopefully I can make some profit off of it. But, did I make this bet larger than I needed to be? 500 ape. I don't know. That's fine. Let's go over here to Ethereum. It's at 4% so far. Oh, this is the daily one. So I think the daily one for Ethereum, let me verify this here. See, that's why I don't buy it right there. On the daily, is it really just that little loop? It looks a little bit different on their charts. Yeah, Ethereum is trying to do some big pop up here to $2,000 today. Will it? I don't know, but you'd be buying and holding for a few different hours here. Since it's already breaking down below that what little support that really was, it was an untested level of support. I might be trying to buy around here if you wanted to do that type of trade and then hype up a little bit more or wait for a pump up. I'm in the process of making a tutorial for you guys right now, and I just have to do some recordings for it. I've done all the voiceover for it, but not the recordings of me using TradingView. One of the cool things I was going to do with you guys is just break down the normal RSI, because a couple of you guys have been asking me about the RSI, and not just the RSI, but like, wait, what? Oh, it's like RSI with the space doesn't show up. Was how to use the RSI, but not just the normal standard one like this. So, there's a lot of other tools out there. I don't want to open up this script for it, but that's fine. You guys know you can change the RSI length, the source, and stuff like that. Some of you guys have been asking me about the MA settings, so the moving average settings, because your average your average RSI, I don't know if you guys ever went to the old school ones of TD Ameritrade and stuff like that. Your average RSIs don't actually have the yellow line there. It looks like more like this, so without the yellow line. So a lot of you guys have been asking me how to use that and what you can do with all this other stuff. So I've put down like, I think it's like close to 15 different strategies you guys can use when it comes to RSIs. That include the Bollinger Bands and stuff like that. I don't even think some of you guys know that you could actually add Bollinger Bands onto the MA itself on the RSI. So look out for that video to come out tomorrow if I'm lucky. If not, it might come in tomorrow afternoon, depending on how tired I am today. But yeah, and then, you know, the simple crossovers and stuff like that, or kind of adds an extra level to the RSI. But I'll talk to you guys more about that tomorrow, I would assume, depending on when I can get this video done, because I did the voiceover and now I got to record what I'm doing in the voiceover. I'm trying this new method for my tutorial so I don't say as much as I normally do, because if you listen to me, you notice that I say or okay way more than I should. Might be ADHD, but I can't use that as an excuse. I just have bad speaking skills sometimes. But yeah, and you guys can even see Bitcoin still trying to make some stronger moves here. Probably some good scalping going on at this point though. All right, let's go back over here to the 15. For now, because I don't like seeing this big green blob up here, I'm just going to delete it and we can kind of watch it play out. One of the things I do want to do for you guys though is just add on some of these Fibonacci extension levels so we can have a clear idea of what we're looking for. So let's go to that low, let's go to that high, let's go to that low. You guys know how we didn't really have to use it because we had that big old level of resistance that was obviously there. I'm a big proponent of the level 1. At this point on the weekly chart, that level 1 happens to be 31,895. Just saying. And if you guys want to use a different one, you guys could always use this one. Looks like that was the one. Oh, I don't know which one would be best for this one. I'd probably go from here to there. That just seems like not enough time, but let's give it a shot. That one matches up with this right here. Did that one match up with that? Let's go to the 5. Did it really do anything? Tad. We don't need that one. Let's just wait for the larger ones to play out. Makes it much more enjoyable. Okay. And now we're just waiting for another big move. I would assume sometime over the next few minutes. On the 15-minute chart, let me go over here. We've already had that change of character way down there, didn't we? Do I have... Oh, okay, there we go. I'm going to hit this microphone any second now. There we go. Okay. If we have a slight pullback, I might try to buy back in here, but I'll wait and see for a little bit. There we go. But if you guys have any questions as far as which coins for technical analysis and stuff like that, let me know. Otherwise, this will be a pretty simple stream where I'm just kind of waiting to take some trades here. I'm hoping we get a little bit of a dip. That way I can buy back in and not have to worry about it like a sudden pump out of nowhere. Usually people try to buy in right here, and you can do that, but the risk to me always seems kind of high. I'm always the type of guy that wants to take a short and just play it down a little bit. But let's see. I want to wait to see if I can get some type of settling going like that or like that, because there are definitely some buyers in this market right now. There we go. Okay. And geez, seeing that 200 billion Bitcoin price back in the day kind of makes me want to cry. What do you call it? Bitcoin is an emotional ride for sure. But again, the way you kind of get those emotions out of your system for you, like longer term traders, is just a dollar cost average. I love to day trade. I do it quite a bit, but I prefer swing trading and long-term investing because that's why I can plop some money down. I believe that the value of Bitcoin will go up, right? And so I just hold for a while. But you know, it's not like I'm going to go 100x long on Bitcoin for right for 5 years. That'd be absolutely insane. You get liquidated like 99.99% of the time. And hey, Matt, Ola to you. I know if you would have just bought 100 in Bitcoin. Oh my God, back in the day, that would have been great. I'm taking a break from the trades, busy packing and moving my mom's stuff out of the house before the sheriff shows up Wednesday for eviction. Hey, General Brandon, I hope things get better, man. Sheriffs are never a fun thing for me or for anybody, I would say. Are you bullish on any AI projects? Which ones? Not so much. See, I've been looking into it, and I feel like AI at this point, at least in the crypto realm, it feels more like a little bit of hype, and it makes me feel like a lot like the metaverse boom. I need to do more research on them, frankly. To me, again, this is my personal perception when it comes to AI. when it comes to like how I would buy them. I would still follow my overall rules of under a penny, low market cap, and that you think it can somehow build exposure. Usually it's the coins that they're not doing anything crazy. They're just kind of boring on the face of it just a little bit. Those are usually the coins that would get on the majority exchanges a lot faster. And watch out for social media. The more I look at social media, the more I'm seeing all these scams pop up. I was talking with one of the guys, the contacts I know at Fairdesk, and one of the contacts I know at BitGet. And there's this big influencer out there who is trying to dump a whole bunch of coins onto his audience, right? So promote a big project, and then when the project goes live, you just dump a whole bunch of coins, which is not legal, okay? You can't just dump them all like that. And so this big influencer, I forget his name, otherwise I'd tell you. He's not big to me, but he's big to the NFT, crypto new project scene, I guess. BitGet froze his accounts because of all this mischief, I guess you could say he was doing. But then he went on like a week and a half campaign saying BitGet's a scam. And so, of course, some of you guys have been asking me like, hey, what's going on? So I have to ask my people over there, like, what's going on? And then I went to go look at like XBZT or whatever that guy's name is, a couple other YouTubers that I know that call it scams and stuff like that. They say he was scamming and stuff like that, so I trust them. But a lot of crazy stuff's been happening in this market, even before this nice little blow up that we've seen. But imagine your account's being frozen because you did some really shitty stuff. You did some really shitty stuff, but man, that must be a scary experience. I can understand why he's going berserk, but do I have sympathy for him? No. Why does it feel like we're in a bull run? What do you call it? To me, it doesn't feel like a bull run only because of the economy, but the price action is just like we're breaking through barrier after barrier after barrier. And on top of that, I think what needs to happen during a bull market for me is we need to rally it with a coin. I don't know what that coin is going to be that we all rally around. It's not going to be Dogecoin this time because Dogecoin is something a lot of us already have. We're going to expect it to go to like $1. It'll be a nice little thing. But, Dogecoin from 10 cents to $1 is like 1,000%. For something that's going up like 10, 20, 30,000%, it's going to be some unknown low market cap coin that probably it's around right now, but it doesn't really have much news around it. I should probably do a deep dive into new altcoins. Maybe what I can do for tomorrow's channel, unless the market's going pretty insane all over again, maybe we can just take a cool half an hour or an hour to just look at all these new coins. And if any of you guys have any ideas of a new coin we should talk about, bring it to the stream tomorrow, and I'd be happy to kind of talk about it. Especially if, like the AI coins, that I could just use that time to do some research on AI coins as well, because I like AI. I like it a lot. I'm just like, my question is always, how is the business going to grow, right? Because even though I guess they don't have earnings reports and stuff like that, like I'm used to in the stock market, I still do want to know what's, how this can grow and how they could eventually make a lot of money when there's a lot more regulation constricting the types of coins that can go on American markets, I would say. Because I would still say there's going to be like, how do I say it? There are still going to be tons of markets out there for tons of coins, but maybe the American market won't. You have to go through a proper IPO system in a few years. You know what I'm talking about, with like due diligence, people watching everything, making sure that's not a scam, that type of stuff. Oh, there we go. Did we see that dip on Bitcoin? Yeah, there's a little bit of a dip. Is it enough though? I mean, since everybody's buying, probably. But Ethereum's up a little bit more too as well. Coming back up. Yeah, everything's trying to get another rally in here. What's over there though? Let's see. Because I don't think that the market today had anything bad, really bad. I heard PXD was up a little bit. That's my energy play that I told you guys about a while ago. It's one of my favorites just because of the high dividends. But yeah, it's at 5%. I think. Wait, let me verify before I say buyout. Yeah, because they had a clean breakout today. What was the thing though? Yeah, it's a rumor to be getting bought out by Exxon, so that's interesting right there. Let's go back over here very fast. Okay, there we go. What in the world could bring Bitcoin down again to new lows? A recession. Frankly, just a recession. A large recession where the whole world is having a bit of a crisis, because unlike just the regular recessions we have, this is a recession with high inflation, which means the world banks just can't lower. They just can't lower the rates and make it all better and print money. They can't do that. And on top of that, there's kind of a, I don't want to call it a tin hat movement because it's like tin hat moment, because there really is some like teeth behind this. but there's a threat that the American dollar is under siege by the BRICS countries. Now, it would take a couple years for this to ever have a huge effect, but there's a feeling that the American dollar isn't what it used to be. And if it continues going this way, the American dollar would lose that reserve currency. Now, Bitcoin against the dollar would grow technically, but in the scheme of things, that'd be at a very uncertain time, and that uncertainty would definitely bring Bitcoin back down. But shorter term here, just a recession, everybody panicking, the stock market falling back down, crashing and burning, that type of stuff. If we go into recession, basically the stock market will hit new lows. I would perceive that Bitcoin would hit new lows because of it, or at least the lows we've seen before. Maybe it can be a massive double bottom, who knows, but we would definitely come down if the stock market drug us back down because, again, a recession, poor earnings, that type of stuff, okay? Hopefully the banks are still going to be sound, though, at the end of the day here. And on top of that, during a recession, the government would try to impose some stricter regulations on cryptocurrencies, which could also bring a little more fear into the equation there. And we haven't heard much from that regulation, though. I've done a little bit of stuff on ChatGPT or just kind of like going over bills. The majority of the bills don't do much right now. I'm waiting for a big bill with teeth to come out so I can actually be afraid of what the regulation might be. See. How do I think Solana is doing? Will continue up further or fall at Bitcoin? Um, right now for Solana, again, I wouldn't be buying up right now because the Bitcoin breakout's already happened. But now it's more of a time for day traders to shine, try to make some moves, like maybe like here for Bitcoin. Somebody might wait for some type of breakdown right here, and then they might do a quick scalp in and out. If you're looking for some of those larger positions, you're waiting for some of those mega levels of resistance or some of those strong levels of support. When it comes to something like Solana, which is somewhere down here towards the bottom of mine, I think, because everything got moved around. There we go. Daily, right? You're seeing a breakout right there. I would say in this circumstance, you'd be fine to buy it, only because it hasn't actually had a stronger move just yet. We're still in that consolidation pattern. Your first level of resistance really seems to be about $21.67. And you also got to worry about that 200 daily moving average. Let's go over here to maybe the hourly chart. What did we see over here, though? There, yeah. You can kind of already see that first breakout that occurred. Okay, well, let me get out of this. Let me get out of the super trend. Oh, my magnet's on. That's what it is. Okay. You can kind of see that breakout that just happened right there. That's usually where you want to be buying this when Bitcoin's kind of having its big time. That's usually what you're looking for. So a lot of times you may be looking at, this is why you have those multi-charts and stuff like that. So like you guys will see a couple of the charts I have, like this one, where it's just 8 different charts, but all different time frames of the same thing, right? That's usually what I'm looking for. And you can see all the green signs here from all the bull signals and all that type of stuff. Usually you're looking for that type of breakout to occur. And you buy at the bottom of the breakout. You don't want to buy it after everybody else is scaling out. I'll make I think I have a tutorial on it, but I don't know what I actually called it. It's basically how to set up your charts for day trading and whatnot. Let's go over here to the 1 minute. So you can see some weakness right here, right? Just a little bit. And so if you wanted to do a scalp, let me just show you guys right here. This is probably a very risky scalp, so I probably would not do it. Let's go over here to the daily at the 1 minute. Okay, you'd be doing this. You'd be doing, let's say, oh, I did not want to bet 20 Bitcoin. No, there we go. 50 bucks. Okay. This is more of a risky trade. Oh, well, there it goes. Worst possible time to do it. And then you would just let it ride for a little bit. 100x is probably pretty risky, so I'd say be very careful about the leverages you use. I probably should have moved it down to 20 or 50 or something like that. Even those are pretty extreme. The majority of the time when I do leverage, it's usually about 5 to 10x, right? And so you can see right now the Bitcoin position. This other one is a yellow with ApeCoin, but the Bitcoin position is now up 5% or about $2, and you'd be doing a little scalp again with your stop loss right here, or if you want a little bit more generous stop loss right there. And your price target would be something more like this, okay? Nice, easy, simple. Usually you'll kind of bump it up a little bit because they usually don't let you just get there right away. They'll kind of do a little bit of a waves and stuff like that. But you're just doing a scalp. And remember, guys, this is a 1 minute chart, so don't take too much stock in it. But again, you see this 20 crossing over between the 50. That means we can go more sideways here for a little bit longer. And then when you zoom out on the 5, let's get all these lines off the chart, right? you can definitely see this just making a new zone here where it might not just go falling down off of a cliff, right? And we still have the 20 over here, the 15, we still have the 20 over here. Nothing too crazy, okay? Now on the 20, you know, I can see, on the 15-minute chart, I can maybe see this coming back down a little bit more, then popping back up. But again, these are small scalping moves right now. I'm probably already down on that position. Yeah, I'm already down 2% after not selling when I probably should have. But again, quick in and out scalp. But yeah, I can leave it on there for a little bit. It's like what, every 3%, 4% is $2. So every 2% is $1. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Let's go back over here to the 5. But yeah, you know, just having some fun watching it kind of play out here. But usually in this scenario, since Bitcoin's already have all this momentum, you're usually looking for a consolidation pattern. You're not waiting for some type of breakdown pattern, if that makes sense. A lot more when it comes to these baby steps here. And, you know, it's fine. But usually when you're scalping, I'd say you probably want to do lower amounts of leverage with more money invested. So it might not be a $50 play with a 100x leverage. It might be a $1,000 play with a 5x leverage. And the reason for that is it will cost you less as far as fees are concerned when you're doing those types of trades. But yeah, you know, this, you know, the fun stuff you can do when you guys are trading, maybe the more boring stuff, the way I explain it. But yeah, you just kind of play around and kind of watch, see what happens. And then you see, if you have a bounce, what, but usually it's a quick in and out, but we can leave this one on for a little bit longer. Again, the stop loss for this one might be something around 30,306, right? And so when you go over here, I can just do, hey, because I'm going to be talking stop loss at 30,000. What is that actually on here? Different exchanges have different rates. Horizontal line, 30,300. That's fair enough for me. Okay, 30,300. Right, and that means I would lose 30% on the trade because it is a 100x leverage position, and I'd be losing about $14.68. Oh, the horror. But you guys get what I'm saying. So confirm, and that way I have some type of safety net in case the market goes boom. It's always nice to have a safety net. And if you guys wanted to have that type of bottoming out part where you have your short-term get out zone, you could always go over here and add the target price. In this scenario, I don't know what the target price might be though. I mean, let's go do a little bit above. 30,122. Let's see. That'd be a 29% upward move. You know, and again, I'd make $14 or so. We're gonna confirm there. See how it works out. Again, $15 I make, $15 I lose. What we'll see, frankly, right? But yeah, usually with the higher leverages, though, you want to do more capital and less leverage. When it comes to scalping, excuse me. When it comes to like your swing trades, you can do less capital, more leverage, but keeping in tune with your good support losses and stuff like that, or stop losses, excuse me. Let's see. See. NA Bideford CIP should be CPI. Is the name of the, did I mess up on the stream? YouTube. Bump it up. Now I can see myself on TV. Oh, geez, I am loud. CPI. No, I think I said it right. Bitcoin is up 80%. CPI trap ahead. Live trading. I did have two titles. Maybe the other title messed up. I'll check it in a little bit. There we go. All right, and there we go. Coming back down a little bit more. Again, short-term scalps, guys. And then you can see this one right here. Now we're up by 7%. And again, we're so far away from our Woody calls, but now we're up $4. You know, I wish I would have been doing some of the breakouts from over here. That would have made, I would have put more money behind it. Yeah, maybe like $100 more. $100 at 100x leverage is pretty something funny to watch because you're up like $1%. That's why I like it so much. Or $100 a percent. So every 1/10 of a percent is $1, I believe. All right. Let's see. Coming back down. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if it actually decides to do the little clip in here. And what's up? What, 10% so far? The ape coin is up a little bit more now as well. That's kind of interesting. But usually the way this is going, it can't keep on going down like that. It'll have to have another hiccup here. This is why I usually scalp and I don't get out of the market so much. But it looks like so far, you know, we're still around 30,165. If you guys are long on it, don't be any concern. I'm just doing some fun scalps here just because I can, I guess you would say. And hey, Monica, what's my prediction for BGB? Oh, Bitget token. Sorry, I forgot about it for a second. I was also reading the person's comment above yours. As far as BGB, I don't know if you mean short term or long term. You know, long term, I'm still very happy with BitGet. It's still been doing fine. Let's go over here to the weekly chart. This one has been one of those premier ones. The blue line represents when we bought it way back in the day in September of 2021 or something like that. It's definitely been having a really nice breakout. I want to see it kind of go up to 50 to 60 cents over the next few weeks if Bitcoin continues on this tear here. After that, it really depends on how the economy looks, but it seems like this BitGet's getting more and more traction. Excuse me. I think one of the reasons is they've been working with some big European soccer star. I forget the guy's name, but if you go over to BitGet's website, you guys know what this guy is called. Overview. Okay, maybe it's hard for me to find this guy. Oh, this guy, that guy. He's famous. I know he's famous. He's a big soccer guy. But he's been promoting it hard, so I'm still holding quite a bit of it. I have scaled some like I told you before, and I bought him back in actually during this little bit of a crisis we had a few weeks ago. But for me, just baby steps, up a little bit. For me right now though, because it has gone up so much, I have been thinking about doing some potential stop losses, not the whole position, but some smaller stop losses, like 20% if it comes all the way back down to this, 20% if it comes all the way back down to this, just to kind of mitigate myself, because I did load up a lot with you back at 6 cents, like loaded up on this sucker like 6.5 cents. One of my stop losses is right down here at 36 cents. The other one is way down here at 32. I think I actually moved it up 33 cents. And then afterwards, I have a little bit more if it comes back down here to 23. And then after that, I think by then, like 50% of my entire BGB would be sold off. But really just some smaller stop losses just in case something goes wrong with the economy at this point. But I could still see this start moving up here to 55, 60, 65, 70 cents. Market cap relative wise, it is starting to get up there. And I'm not talking about like Dogecoin levels or Bitcoin levels. But it is starting to get up there a little bit more. So I am starting to be aware that the market cap is, it's higher than it was before. Remember, we bought this market cap at what, like, I don't even know. It was the smallest market cap ever. Now it's up to 651 million. Market cap all back over here is 251 million, 260 million market cap. Remember, we bought it over here before it really became on coin market cap. So I'd give it some time, but I still think it can go much higher. I would start implementing some smaller stop losses on there, or just make sure you just shave off some profits as we reach these new levels of highs, I guess. Remember, I started shaving off at 50 cents, and what, 50 cents was right there, close to the top, right? So I got pretty darn lucky, but then I bought back some over here around 40 cents, then 35 cents, and then, waiting to see what happens again. But I think it can go much higher. Sorry for the stutter here, guys. I've been busy all day. Okay. There you go. And we had that little bit of a move. Our position sold off, and we made about 15 bucks or so, okay? So, yippee-ki-yay, everybody. Congrats on watching a scalp. Scalp? Yeah, so that was a nice little play. Okay. Now, you will see that I have my overall problem, which I do, is I don't hold for a long enough period of time. And you'll see this right now, kind of as Bitcoin goes back down. I don't care about that. I honestly don't give two shites about it. You guys know my philosophy. As long as I'm walking away with a profit, I am very, very happy. That's just my nature as a trader. And, I'd rather walk away with a profit than worry about not having a profit at all. Now, again, I could have a lot more money off of these trades if I held on a little bit longer. But my philosophy, let's kind of go back to it. Once you sell, you don't have to worry about anything. So once you've made a good trade, usually I guess might be making a couple $100 trade off of that, whatever. You're fine. You've made enough money for like a few hours, and you can just kind of go chill out with what you want to do. Usually, though, I like to do my longer swing trades where I'm holding for like 2 to 4 hours, something like that, maybe up to 24, 36 hours. Although over the last few weeks, that has been like incredibly slow to kind of trade that move. But yeah. So you make your trade, you make your profit, and you're happy with it. That actually worked out pretty well too. Instead of bouncing off, we just completely went, had a little bit of a pop right there below those support levels. Okay, let's get that super trend back off of here. Go back over to the 5-minute chart, and you guys can see us running into that 50 right here. See that 20 moving average on the 5-minute chart. There we go. Really, all I'd be watching for though is the 15. watch that 20 and that 15. That's if we start breaking down below that, that's a short that might have some fun with it, or you might have some fun with it. And please make scalping video price concept. Please make a price. Please make a scalping video with price concepts. Oh, you're talking about smart concepts. I can try, but I don't know if I have a tutorial on that yet. I'd probably have to make a strategy up for you guys that are scalpers, because the way smart money works, smart money and most indicators that we use with trading, in one way or another, they're all very different ways to follow trends. And that's all we're looking for, is the trends in the market, hopping on to said trend and then making a move up. I think what happens is new investors, this is me at one point as well, we always think about buying low and selling high, when in reality, I think most full-time investors, they buy at that lower than they sell, right? It's not always about catching the bottom. Smart money isn't really designed to get you the bottom, but when it comes to scalping, it's more of like here. Let's go to a 5-minute chart here. No, I guess we gotta go to, I was using a 1-minute chart to scalp, which is not what you normally want to do. I'm doing YouTube right now, so I'm not following a lot of my rules here. Okay, so I think I opened up my scalp somewhere around here. I don't know, somewhere around here, right? And what I saw probably going to happen here, again, this, I normally would wait for the breakdown to occur. I did wait because I was late because I was talking to you guys. What do you call it? You'd wait for the small breakdown to occur right here, right? And so I think I bought around here, the short. And then I said, hey, I'm expecting it to probably come down to this level or this level. And then what I can also see happening in the future here is the moving average is starting to slow down. The trend is slowing down from going up. It's just going more sideways, which is showing weakness on the upward trend. It's all about trend versus like, how do I perceive the different trends occurring? The shorter term trend was, hey, look at this. We're starting to slow down. There could be time for a pullback, because if you zoom out, you can see how much of a move we've had, right? Stuff like that. So when you consider smart money concepts and how you might use that to do trading, like I can pull up the smart money concepts by chart prime right here. This one isn't, I mean, we got a break of structure over here. You could have done that once you broke out here. That might have worked out for you. This was a break of structure right there, but that didn't really go anywhere, right? There is a change of character, I would say. I don't know how long the formula for this one goes. Really, that change of character was right there for the breakdown for me, right? Right there, a change of character in my head, and I'm playing it down like that. All it is the breakdown of trends and the trends continuing on, okay? When it comes to scalping, though, it's just so much more different because there's different volatilities, different leverage levels. Like even if I go back over here, there was a change of character right there. This is on the 1-minute chart. You know, it popped up a little bit, then it eventually moved up. But in reality, you know, me being me, I'd probably just, in my head, what did I see? I saw this downward trend slowing down. We went more sideways, and then I see us. If I can do this. This is usually in my head though, because I don't like doing this on. I don't like getting all this so choppy. You're looking at that breakout zone. We broke into the zone, right? You can think of this almost as an imaginary fair value gap, even though it's not a fair value, just like the zone thing right here. And anything in this zone is usually good to buy. And then you're going to have your stop loss back at that change of character point, excuse me. And then you try to wait for a pop. You're not expecting a pop like this. You're expecting something more like gradual. You never expect a big pop. You just expect a gradual thing. And if it hits your price target as it's booming, you just take it and run with the money, because it means your whole life got a lot easier. But when it comes to scalping, I don't really use smart money concepts, the tools like that. Maybe if you want to use it something more on a 15-minute chart, you can say that, hey, we had a change of character down here, so my head's blocking it, and you can see how we went up ever since then for the most part. Sure, the break of structures right here, you guys can use that. But usually, I want to scalp going into that trend. I want to scalp going into it. So I wouldn't really be doing too many puts right now, you know, or not puts, excuse me, shorts. But that's because I haven't seen enough breakdowns. What I told you guys before is I really want to see this breakdown below the 20. Then I'd be much more enthusiastic about doing scalps down further and further and further and further. Because again, what would happen in that time? I guess I'm thinking more in 3D time, space, continuum type stuff. I don't know how to make that sound right, but like eventually that 20 is going to cross over, or it's going to start looking pretty weak, you know, compared to other moving averages. when I can sense that crossover incoming, that's when I might take something more of a shorter term, like a short to, because I might come back down. I'm not going to be aiming for the moon here as far as a short, not going to be aiming for hell here compared to shorts, whatever. You take it profits like that. But when it comes to scalping, I don't really know if I have a really good strategy when it comes to smart money concepts. It's usually like what my eyes can tell me. And I guess I've been trading for quite a bit of time now. But even me, I was kind of wrong about the trade I did, kind of. I told you guys that I felt like we were going to have a breakdown here, right? And so I was getting ready to do the trade. I started talking too much. And by the time I was able to buy the trade, the breakdown had already happened. Then we went down a little bit more. Then I was like, you just want to be patient with it. We came back up a little bit more. Then we started to dump back down. But my price target really was only about here, right? Right here. Because I said normally, we normally don't just break down below this. And we did just break down below. So that's where I was wrong at. But again, if we got in here, I've made my profit. I don't have to worry about it, right? Because if I was still holding the position right now, I'm going to put it probably worrying too much. But, there's that fear that maybe something can happen. There's a big boom right there. You just never know, right? But scalping, let me see if I can find out a premium, like a really good scalping type of trade for you. Because for me, scalping is all about breakdowns and breakouts within a larger trend. Trading the trend is going to be really what you have to master if you want to go into scalping. And I think scalping is one of the riskiest ways you guys can trade. Notice how after I made that trade and I made like $15, whatever it was, I think it was a good amount of percentage though. It was like 20-30% on the trade, right? But notice what I did is before I left and talked to you guys, I just added a stop loss and a target price. So everything else was automated. So I knew I was either going to make $15 or lose $15 with my 100x leverage. So, you always got to have that plan in place. I did not have that plan in place before I made the trade, which is kind of stupid of me. But, I've been trying to do more live trading for you guys. And the fact that I can make money while live, it's a big accomplishment for me because you guys know I have like high anxiety. I want to make sure I'm doing it right, doing it the right way, even though, I am talking all over the place right now. And you guys can see right now, we're bouncing a little bit off of that 20 moving average here. I wasn't going to trade this at all though, just because it didn't really work out too well over here. Again, it is what it is. I don't know what else there is though. I mean, like I have this other position with ApeCoin, but it's a long 10x ApeCoin. This is something more for tomorrow though, not so much today, which is why the leverage is so much less. Well, there's ApeCoin. Yeah, it's just been consolidating since we started the stream here, so not really much. And again, you're starting to see that slowdown here between the 20 and the 50. I'm hoping we can get a nice little pop here, especially between the before the 5-minute chart has that crossover. 15, you're still looking perfectly fine, right? So, but if Bitcoin's looking a little bit more weaker, then ApeCoin might look a little bit more weaker as well. So that's what you're gonna have to put 2 and 2 together. But the ApeCoin is something I would call a pure YOLO off of the daily. I didn't really look too much in the technical analysis. All I want to see is ApeCoin blast above the 50 and the 200, and I made a short-term bet on it to see what will happen. So this might be open until tomorrow for all I know. But yeah, just having some fun with it. Okay, back over here. Oh, one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about today as well. The dollar index is still going a little bit more sideways, but it hasn't really turned into bullish territory at all. So keep an eye on this one, everybody. The only thing that I can see in the short term here that can really bust up Bitcoin besides the CPI, which kind of actually messes with the dollar here and the rate hikes messes with the dollar. If we bounce off of this $100 support level zone and we start breaking above the 20-week moving average on the US dollar, that might scare me a little bit as far as assets and whether or not they should be risk on or risk off. Okay, I would hate to see us like for those of you guys who want to see Bitcoin go up, you guys really want to see the dollar break down from the support zone that we have. If you guys want to see Bitcoin go down so you can accumulate more, you want to see a solid bounce for the next few weeks and this eventually going back up here to 105 or something like that. Okay. Now we're kind of getting closer to the end of this rate hike series, so we're not entirely sure how this is going to turn out. But historically, when we have these, what do you want to call it? Recessions and whatnot, everything gets very, very volatile, very, very volatile. Okay. This is back in 2008. You see the recession, the market going down a lot, right? Really high afterwards, all types of volatility. It took a while to get out of that volatility. And during that time, the market was very, very slow. Not bad, but just slow. Okay. There we go. Back to the 15 so we can admire Bitcoin here. See, hey Amir, why isn't Bitcoin pulling back? Wait, what was? Oh, it'll probably have a decent pullback here in the future, but this is just because there's a big momentum break and we just broke out of a massive level of resistance. See, and hey, Wilder, you got liquidated and you think it wasn't, you think it was your own understanding. Usually what happens in liquidations is this, and all new investors usually fall into it once or twice. I did it myself when I was first doing leverage trading with Bitcoin. So when you only have a certain amount of capital in your account, you tend to over leverage yourself. And the amount you have to use is so much smaller than you guys understand, right? So for me, I think I lost like $600 or something like that. I did a 20x leverage trade with $100, and I didn't realize like how fast that liquidation would occur. When talking about platforms like Bitgate or Fairdesk or Binance, usually it's about 60 to 75%. Somewhere in there, your position gets liquidated. If it's like a lower percentage, like 65, usually what they're doing is they're liquidating you, but they're also giving you some money back, whatever's left over. But other circumstances, it's just gone, right? So when you guys use leverage, use a lot less leverage than you guys, or use a lot less capital than you'd think you would need to. So like when it comes to Fairdesk here, I have about $1,600 in the account. I just started off with another fresh $1,500 a few days ago after I removed $1,500 out of it. With this $1,600 in my account currently, I would not do, so I did a 100x leverage trade with you guys. I might not do more than $200 or $300 trade with 100x leverage. If I'm doing a leverage trade of $10, or to be 10x, not 10x, 10x, maybe I'll go up to $500 to $700 if I really wanted to. But then I have those clear levels of support and resistance and those clear levels of stop losses and take profits. So no matter what, I know what I'm going to be able to risk. Like if I made a trade right now, let me just go over here to this ApeCoin trade very fast just to show you something. So I have a 10x leverage position long on this one just for that YOLO that we're going to come back and see how it does tomorrow. But let's say I had a stop loss on this one, and the current price of ApeCoin seems to be, ApeCoin is, what is this? $4.32 about. So let's say I went down here and I did a stop loss of $4. That means I would lose 78% on the trade and I'd be down about $179. But that's 78% of the trade. That's not 78% of my entire portfolio. What I have here is a loss of $169. And because I have a portfolio size, at least for this one margin account, because I think I got 5,000 in my other wallet, it's like 60. That's, I'm out of $1,600. That's not really a lot. It's a lot, but it's not like a liquidation amount. But let's say I do something like, hey, what if there's a major crash and ApeCoin, I woke up, it was at $1 or something like that, right? Stop loss orders needs to be greater than liquidation price or it will not trigger, right? So it actually tells you right there. That means the loss would be about $16.69. It would be very, very bad, right? So if this went to $1, my whole position would get liquidated. To fix that, all you need is a stop loss or a take profit, right? Be safe about it. But even if I go down here to like 250, that'd be a 424% loss or $919. I still wouldn't be forced to liquidate. So it's crazy how fast you can get to those liquidation levels depending on your leverage. And again, this leverage is only 10x leverage. What I was just doing with Bitcoin was 100x leverage. You can see how fast you can get there if it just goes in the wrong direction for a fraction of a second. It pops. It pops in a hurry. It's like the ultimate fail safe for an exchange to make sure they're not left on the hook for your trade, if that makes sense, because they don't want to they don't want to lose all their money as well, because the trade did happen through the marketplace. Oh, thanks, Byteford. Okay, on the what do you call? That's fine. They'll get it. Somebody has dyslexia. What do you call? Not I didn't mean, but what do you call? They'll figure it out. I appreciate that, Byteford. Can I look at Gala? Gala, I don't think I even looked at Gala in a hot minute. I think somebody asked me about it a while ago. I mean, Gala looks a lot like Bitcoin right now, but let's go over here to the daily chart. All right, so you're seeing a little bit of a bounce here, a small breakout, a different type of breakout though. So we're seeing this small one occur right there. Usually you're going to be trading this on a 15-minute chart though. You're probably not going to be hoping for too much coming out of it, but let me make sure this is all fit right there. That's fine. All right. So you could have bought on this breakout, looking fine with Bitcoin going up a little bit higher as well. Maybe if there's a little bit more of a pullback, you might be able to see this. You might be able to buy this. Normally I like to see it come back down, then I like to buy it to hope for that move and then using this as a stop loss. But let's back up a little bit here. If you can break out above this level of resistance right here around like what, 0.04286, I would consider it a pretty easy shot to get back up here towards 0.04469. I'm assuming that's a pretty decent return, not crazy, but a decent return if I can just find my measurement tool. So like right around here. Yeah, about 4 or 5%. That's not too bad right there. That's what I'd be trying to go for right now. But until we have that breakout, you know, I would still assume that we're somehow in some type of trading range over here. The main reason for that is I don't know what Bitcoin's going to do because everybody's going to be kind of hanging on pins and needles as we kind of wait for the CPI data to come out Wednesday. And until that data comes out, the stock market overall is going more sideways. And most of the way I look at crypto for the most part, which has its faults, is I tend to trade a lot of my larger term crypto moves based off of what the stock market is doing. So when I see the stock market here, what I end up doing is I go over here to, let's just say in this one. I look at the Dow Jones, right? And I see the Dow Jones dealing with some levels of resistance right now. Oops, some resistance over here. And it's just trying to have a nice little breakout point. I see the SPY looking to break out of this larger trend, but we're still kind of consolidating here. I see that's Ethereum. Where's NASDAQ at? Oh, there's NASDAQ. I see the NASDAQ also consolidating after it had a smaller breakout here, but really running into this larger level of resistance that we have to deal with. I'm waiting to see that. At the same time, again, I am seeing a breakdown occur here out of this upward trend. Not terrible, but it's not good. And from there, I'm just kind of like waiting and waiting and waiting. And now we see the stock market go sideways. While over the past few weeks, we've seen that the Bitcoin's been going sideways for like the past 2.5 weeks. The market's been going up in that time. So I think the market actually caught up to Bitcoin, if that makes sense. As weird as that really does sound. But yeah. Okay. And hey, Amir, thank you very much for the super chat, my man. I appreciate it a lot. Quick question. I shorted Gala at 0.0408. My liquidation is at 0.04812. I am down 600. Should I put like 2,000 to 3,000 more to push my entry higher? So what I tend to do, and this is my personal strategy, is I tend to not mess with the trade, especially leverage, once I've opened it. So if I lose the trade, I lose the trade. If I win the trade, I win the trade. So I would have a preset stop loss on your trade. And if it hits that stop loss, just deal with it, take the loss, and you'll be able to save that extra money down the road. My fear here is that you would add more of a position onto this trade. And then what might end up happening is that maybe you lose even more and more money until you finally get liquidated out of a larger position of your money. So what I might say here is I might take smaller positions, Amir, and that way it'll help you out so you don't have to worry about it as much. Because usually when I make a trade, I am not going to be furious if I get liquidated off of that trade, because it'll be a trade I'll be losing like $400, $300, something like that, something I can live with, right? Some people can't live with losing like a few $100 every single day or after every trade, right? I might lose a couple $1,000 in a day with a few bad trades. The way I look at it, because I'm a little bit more conservative, I'm thinking about not just that one trade and how that can make me money or how that can lose me money, but I'm still thinking about the overall health of my portfolio. So I would probably not mess with the trade anymore. If it makes you money, it makes you money. If it doesn't make you money, it doesn't make you money. But if you want to mitigate it a little bit more while it's still open, maybe you could adjust your stop loss here. So at max, you lose like $600. At max, you lose $700, but you're not going to get your full liquidation there. I would still have that set stop loss. Usually when I'm trading with leverage, like let me see something with a Gala here to go deeper, do a deeper dive into it. Oh, did I mess up with the Gala? Hold on a second. So like when it comes to Gala for me, now this is a little bit different here, but let's go to the 15-minute chart. When I do these types of trades, and let's say I shorted Gala right here, or I shorted Gala right here, whatever. Usually that'll be my stop loss, okay? So I know no matter what happens, if I'm doing 1,000 $1,000 10x position, right? So I'm trading like $10,000 technically. Let's say I open up short right here, 1.12%. So that's well, that's like what is that, like a $100 loss or something like that, $125 loss, something like that. I'm hoping I'm doing the math right here. No, that's $100 times 10%. I might be losing $100 or something off of this trade, $125 off the trade. So I know that going in. Now, if that gets hit so bad, I lost my money, I'll live another day. Don't risk a larger portion of your portfolio if on a bad trade, if that makes sense. Right now, it seems like over the last 15, 20, 15, 45 minutes, Gala has been coming back down off the brink a little bit. Maybe if we break down below the 20 moving average on the 15-minute chart, maybe you start to breathe a little bit easier here. I don't know what your leverage is on this point though, so that makes it a little more risky. Maybe you just had a $100 leverage, or excuse me, 100x leverage. Maybe you had a 20x leverage, 50x leverage. I don't know. But if you had a very high leverage, you should be able to recoup some of those losses right now. While if it's a lower leverage, you might have to wait a little bit longer before that 600 turns into a $500 to a $400 loss, stuff like that. And if at any point you just want to say, hey, we get down to this next level of support, I don't know if we're going to bounce or not, but I want to take my loss and just be done with it. You can also do that as well. But you're going to have to, like, while this is going on, formulate a plan to get out of it because you think it's not going to work out. And you can, after this trade is over, write it down in your trading journal of what happened and how to not get stuck in the situation again. Usually it's by just having a stop loss. Stop losses save you so much time. If you don't have an exchange that gives you a solid stop loss opportunity, especially with trading with leverage, switch over to something else. Really take your time with it. And don't feel like you have to put more money in there to fix a trade, because you never know if that, like, let's say you add another $10,000 into it, maybe that $10,000 gets liquidated. You just don't want to take that. Don't want to take that chance. Look over here to Bitcoin, and now I can see Bitcoin. See, I told you guys I always short too early, or I always exit my positions too early. Exited right around there, I think. Oh, look at that bad boy continue to go down. That could have made $30, $50. I don't know how much that would have been. But normally I do like $100 leverage, and I don't want to do that too much. And okay, still running at that resistance level though. So 5, auto, there we go. See, and then Michael, how are you? I think we might rip through 30,000s. What do you call? I mean, I hope we do, but it really all depends on the CPI data and stuff like that. Right now, my next price target is around like $32,500. If we can get up there and we break through that, we have a good chance of going up to $35,000, $38,000. So it could be really a nice little time, Michael. I hope that CPI is cold tomorrow, or not cold Wednesday, excuse me. That would give me a lot. Move that stop loss down a little bit from whatever it was before, so that way you know how much you can be willing to lose now. So you can still adjust a stop loss where you're saying, hey, right now I'm down 600, but I don't want to lose more than 700. I don't want to get fully liquidated. I don't want to lose more than this. So maybe now if you're down only $550, maybe you can move that stop loss back up to $600. So now you're not going to lose more than $600. Stuff like that. But sometimes you just lose the trade, and it's not worth it to try to build onto that. Let's see right here. Oh, and hey, GT, sorry I missed your question. How long do you think alts can stay down if Bitcoin keeps pumping? Only like 24 to 36 hours. It's not really long. Unless Bitcoin decides to come back down, then that can be a little bit more of an issue here. I think what's happening, frankly, is right now people are just a little bit scared about what's going on with CPI numbers coming out in a couple of days. I think if we didn't have to deal with CPI numbers, I think all the altcoins would be flooding in there, and you would see them moving up quite a bit. But again, don't forget, during this whole time, GT, let's say like the last 90 days, Bitcoin's up 73%. Ethereum isn't even close to that. It's only at 44. BNB is only at 16. XRP is only at 47. ADA is at 25. Dogecoin's at 10. Matic is at 30. Bitcoin itself, this little bit of a rally, has been really gaining the dominance here. And so, it's just been very, very interesting to see. But how would I say this? Don't be surprised if they don't catch up right away. Give it like a couple, 24, 36 hours or so. Because when you look at a lot of these altcoin charts here, let's go to the dailies, right? we're still into some consolidation periods right here. Consolidation, haven't broken out yet, but you could see that breakout could possibly happen over the next few days. What's happening in the next few days, though? The risk of CPI data being very bad. Dogecoin, right? Okay, we're not going to the Dogecoin chart because Dogecoin is just a wild chart all in itself. You guys know that. ApeCoin right here. I have a long on this just as a yellow play to see what happens. But again, it's about to get squeezed between the 20-day moving average and the 50 and possibly the 200. But again, you guys can see we're at a level of resistance right here, waiting to break out. This one, as far as I'm concerned, just still needs a little bit of time to cook. But you're waiting for that big boom to happen. AVAX over here, consolidation. You can't ignore the actual charts that are going on with altcoins. A lot of them are still in these consolidation patterns. Get ready for AVAX to have a big move one way or the other. Bitcoin Cash looks a little bit better than a lot of other stuff. There we go there. Probably that one right there. The breakout's occurring. Bitcoin Cash may have a little bit of a stronger move. BNB got squeezed, pumped up, but still, not breaking new highs or something like that like this year. Chili's already had that breakout a while ago, right? And then it's pumped up a little bit here, but then it ran up into another level of resistance. So look at each individual chart. Usually what you're going to be looking for are some of those charts that are like in this scenario right now, probably looking for those coins that are brand new onto the market or they haven't had new highs in the past. Those are usually the ones doing very well. Everything else, if you remember, after Bitcoin kind of had the big plump last year, a lot of altcoins tore new ones like just with crazy high, like Maddox and Ethereum Classics, and Bitcoin still hasn't caught up in terms of that. So I think that's kind of the mismatch we're seeing. But altcoins should boost up here in the next few days as long as CPI data is good. You should see them have a really good day compared to Bitcoin. I think there was let's go back over here to Fidos. Every now and again, I have a lot of fun doing this. There we go. See, ApeCoin is down like $12 or something right now. Like here, RNDR, whatever this is. I'm just pointing this out because it says it's like the largest move of the day on Fairdesk. Fairdesk doesn't have too many coins because I guess they try to fit into whatever regulation the SEC is saying. Regulation, right? I don't know. I don't know what the actual regulation is, but you can see right here, RNDR. It's probably new on the exchange. So let's go over here to RNDR. Tether. There you go. Over here. Nice consolidation. Actually, this one's actually just having a big bounce off of some of these moving averages, it looks like. But again, running into some resistance right up there. There we go. You're waiting for this one to have a larger move, but this one might not happen for a few days as it has to consolidate a little bit more. But Golden Cross inbound, this one could be a pretty nice move. It's not all-time highs though, right? Oh yeah, it opened back up in December 2021, so it never actually experienced a full bull market. All it experienced was a bear market. It's not bad though. But yeah, you're usually looking for some of those smaller market cap plays. I don't even know if it's actually a smaller market cap play though. There you go. And you're seeing some weakness come up from Bitcoin right now. All right. What about NOS 100? I don't know what NOS 100 is. Is that a crypto company? NOS Nebulous? It's only on OKX, so I'm not entirely sure. Does not have a lot of volatility, I'll tell you that. It's dumping right now, so I probably wouldn't even be in this. It's at what, 0.015? I'd say be very careful of this, if this is the one you're talking about, though. Maybe the NDX. Are you talking about the NDX, maybe? I don't know. NASDAQ, perhaps? NASDAQ 100? I don't know. Let's see. Pull this over here, though. Let's see, I'm all in crypto mode. Okay, you're probably talking about the NASDAQ then, right? I think so. There you go, right there. Which one though? The Tech 100 or the Cash? Awanda? No, that's probably not that one. I'm not entirely sure. There's a few different ones. I don't usually go into the specifics of the SPY or the NASDAQ, but let me know and I can try to figure it out for you very fast. There you go. Because right now the NASDAQ is still looking like it's hitting up against this level of resistance. We had that breakdown a few days ago, but it's not like it's been a terrible time since. Hopefully tomorrow we can have a breakout again and start going back up to those resistance levels, and maybe, just maybe, the NASDAQ can break out above this type of stuff and start going up a little bit higher into this larger zone here where, I mean, then things get really, really crazy. I don't think the economy is warranted to have Bitcoin at this price, but I'm still trading it and making money off of it. And again, I'm still just dollar cost averaging on all this type of stuff, just in case for whatever reason we continue to go up. But I still think we're going to see a new set of lows here over time. There you go. There's Bitcoin 1 minute chart right there. Anything? No? Okay. All right. Looks like the comment section is dried up. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be prepared for some volatile moves as everybody kind of expects the CPI report of the next few days to be, as they kind of make the predictions for it. The stock market is still at this level of resistance. Bitcoin just broke out. So you could definitely see today Bitcoin continue to go higher, but play it safe and play it responsibly. I know we talked a lot about leverage today, but just keep it easy and make sure you guys have those stop losses in place if you guys want to trade and then go to sleep and leave those positions open while you're sleeping. Play it safe, everybody. So I'll see you tomorrow. And if you guys haven't already, I did put out a new video here a few days ago. Please make sure to go watch it. I forget what it's actually called because I'm working on the RSI one right now. I think it's just a typical MACD, but like an advanced MACD tutorial. Yeah, it's a 30-minute video on how to master the MACD with a whole bunch of different settings like we're going to do with this RSI one. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. And thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, and Loki says goodbye. Loki. He tries to say goodbye. Thanks, everybody.